What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fight Form. Obviously, I'm your host, Showtime. What's good? Thank you guys for watching. Once again, please subscribe, please follow, like, all that good stuff. Follow me on social medias at Showtime Sanders. It's spring now, where I'm living, so I am feeling a little frisky with the basketball jersey. I've been lifting a little weights, trying to show muscles a little bit. But today's conversation is going to be about our pound for pound MMA list. All right, this is going to be worldwide. So I'm not just trying to make it exclusively for UFC because there are so many great fighters around the world, but it's going to be UFC heavy because at the end of the day, they do have a lot of the cream of the crop. So I want to start off first with the women's division. I do think the women's division is so much easier to give a top five list for pound compared to the men because they're kind of all over the place. But the women, it's pretty solid. It's pretty easy. First, I want to start off with my honorable mentions. All right, I don't want to just not give these ladies credits because these ladies are phenomenal in their own right. I just don't think that they're better than the five women I have listed. So honorable mention would be Kayla Harrison. She is a gold medal judo practitioner. She's 11-0. She is phenomenal at PFL, dominating the competition. It's unfortunate that she is a 155 pounder, so that division isn't as strong as like the 135. The 115 pound division, but yet and still, there's still some fighters out there, and she's dominating. She's doing what she has to do. The other one is going to be Joanna Jędrzejczyk. All right, I was struggling because I wanted to put her at 5 because at the end of the day, Joanna's still phenomenal. She's an amazing striker, great takedown defense, pressures is out this world. Her cardio's out this world, but unfortunately, I can't put her at 5. But honorable mention, she definitely is at least 6. But 5, I'm gonna go Cyborg, the former, in my opinion, pound for pound GOAT until she got slept by Amanda Nunes. She still is giving out these wins. She's still a dog, power puncher, crazy combination, good cardio, good takedowns. She's dominating in Bellator now. Good luck trying to beat her unless you're Amanda Nunes. But yeah, she's number 5. The only reason why she's not any higher is because, one, she obviously got slept by Amanda Nunes, and I do think her skill set is more limited than the ladies above her. Number 4, breaks my heart because I love this lady to death, and I'm so hurt that she lost, but it's going to be Wei Ling Zhang. She is still 21-2. She just lost to Thug Rose. At the end of the day, I didn't really see if that fight didn't happen, I would have told you she has no flaws in her game. Great cardio, power in her shots. Phenomenal wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. Whatever you need, she has. It's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it's MMA. Anything is possible. She got caught. She lost by Thug doing her homework on what, Wei Lee does a little too often, which is, hands up but not protecting her chin and putting her legs out forward and then rocking them back, but then, leaving her chin wide open for a kick. And we all know Thug Rose has the most phenomenal kicks in the women's division. She hides them perfectly. But like I said, I don't really see anybody else at 115 beating Wei Ling. And I think if there's a rematch, I'm still going to favor Zhang. But she lost, so I can't put her ahead of my number 3, which is Thug Rose. Thug Rose in my DC voice. Thug Rose is my number 3. She has 4 losses. She's 10-4. But, she's beaten 2 of the best in the world in that division. She's, matter of fact, let me change it. She's finished 2 of the toughest females in that division in Joanna and Wei Lee. Come on, bro. Like, arguably, you can say she's the greatest 115 pounder ever. You can't say that now, in my opinion. She does obviously have some losses under her belt, but at the end of the day, bro, she also has wins against the best in the world, like the best, and dominant wins. So Thug Rose is my number 3. We'll see if she can, continue to build on her legacy. But as of right now, she's the 115 pound GOAT for me. Number 2. Matter of fact, let me change that. 1B, because I don't even want to say number 2 because she ain't number 2 to nobody. That's Valentina Shevchenko. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at pronouncing her name. But Valentina is easily 1B in the women's division. You can't debate. You could honestly argue she's 1. Who's beating her at 125? Nobody. She's dominating every single person to the point when they have a minor bit of success. We're like, oh, what? Did she have a moment? That right there speaks dominance. She went to, I can say it wasn't a war, but she had a close, razor thin fight with Amanda Nunes, who outweighs her, who's way bigger than her. This girl is special. Like, you're not beating her at 125. Good luck. She's going to retire the champion. I'm already going to say it. Unless somebody literally is coming out, somebody get created, they're not beating her at 125. She's just too good. She's too good. She has no flaws. Literally no flaws. Like, what do you want from her? Wrestling? Oh, she got that. Power? Oh, she got that. Kicks? Oh, she definitely got that. Cardio? Oh, she got that too. Head movement? Oh, you're not going to really hit her. She's quick as hell. Good luck. But my 1A, I'm still respectful off of legacy, and I still have to respect the names and the resume that Amanda Nunes has, which includes Valentina, so I can't disrespect it. Number 1A is obviously and easily Amanda Nunes. I mean, at the end of the day, and she actually does have holes in her game. They're not the most. I mean, she ain't got too many. I mean, I still think her cardio is not the greatest. It depends on the fight. I do think her wrestling is not really great. And then even when she's on bottom, she's not that active. So I will say that, that doesn't really matter because her power is just so ridiculous. And she is rounded enough in the grappling department to, even if it's a close match in the stand-up, she can still take you down. So, her wrestling's good enough. Her takedowns are good enough. Her submission game is good enough. All these good things. But, I mean, at the end of the day, her resume is just too flawless. I mean, she's just too dominant right now. Once again, people are scared. Like, do I need to show y'all what her last victim look like? Do I need to show y'all? That shows you right there why she's pound for pound number 1. But like I said, women's division is a lot easier to decide than the men's. The men's division very, very tough. So I'm gonna go once again. I'm gonna go honorable mention with my top 5 for men. Honorable mention will be Francis Ngannou. He just won the belt, so the reason why he's not top 5 is because he has to defend his belt. I want to see him defend it versus John Jones, Derek Lewis, and Stipe again, and things of that nature. Then he's easily going to be top 3. And his win versus Stipe was so convincing and so dominant, I had to put him honorable mention. I mean, his power, and now that he's patient, once again, just like I said with Valentina, good luck fighting him. Anybody. My next one is going to be Pitbull. Pitbull fights out of Bellator, 145-pound and 155-pound champion. He's scary. I mean, he's nasty. Power in his shots. I mean, good wrestling. I mean, what are you going to do with this dude, bro? What are you going to do with him? I mean, I really wish he was in the UFC because I would love to see him fight Alex, and I would love to see him fight Max. But unfortunately, that's not the way it's going to happen. He's the man out there. They're going to keep paying him as much as they can so he can never leave. But the man is flawless, and I cannot wait till he fights AJ McKee. Number 5, we're gonna go Alex Volskany. I'm very bad at these names. I'm sorry, Alex, for butchering up your name. I'm just bad with it. But he's 22-1. He's never lost in the UFC. He has wins over Max, Jose. I mean, what do you want, bruh? The only reason why he's not higher for me is because his fights with Max were so close and so many people think he lost. And it's like, I can see it, but he's definitely going to be on my list. He's definitely going to be top 5. It's just he's not as convincing as the other guys that are ahead of him. Once again, a lot of these guys really don't have too many flaws, man. Like, Alex really doesn't have much of a flaw in his game. I mean, his stand-up is great, and when it doesn't really work for him, he can take you down, and he can just beat you up. The guy's solid. 4, Israel Adesanya. He did just lose the Jan, and some people are going to say, well, Jan better be up on his list. He's not. I can tell you right now. The reason why is because pound for pound is if 2 men who are the same size fighting each other, we all know they're not the same size. As I recall, Izzy weighed like 191, or 190 something. He's nowhere near the same size as Jan. And that's the only reason why. I say Jan. I don't know if I stop saying Jan. John. The only reason why I'm not putting them on there is because, once again, if they were the same size, I do believe Izzy beats the hell out of him. So size played a factor. He lost. It is what it is. But Izzy is a terror for anybody that weighs anything close to him. He has great takedown defense, phenomenal striking, and his jiu-jitsu slept on. So I think I'm pretty comfortable putting him number 4. I would put him higher, but he did lose just recently, so I can't put him that much higher. For my number 3 is going to be Dustin Poirier. Some people are going to say, oh my God, how is Dustin up there? I'm going to tell you how. If Khabib did not retire, he would easily be my pound for pound number 1. Easily, no discussion. Outside of his Khabib loss, he has won 8 fights in a row. He has been unstoppable at lightweight, except for obviously the juggernaut, the greatest lightweight of all time, Habib, who finished him. And even then, he almost hurt. I mean, he almost choked him out. He hurt him, and he almost choked him out with a guillotine. Dustin is, I mean, what do you need? Boxing is honest. I think he has, if not the best boxing in MMA, he's definitely number 2. Power out this where he can hurt anybody. We've seen that with Conor. We've seen that with Habib. We've seen him hurt pretty much everybody he's fought. And he has great cardio and toughness and grit. And I mean, his wrestling is solid. Jiu-jitsu, we already know he's active. I mean, what the hell are we talking about? He's easily number 3 in my opinion. He's beaten the hell out of Max Holloway. Some people say, oh, that fight was close. You know who won that fight. He's beaten him twice now. He's beaten Conor McGregor, finished Conor. First person to ever KO Conor McGregor. Like I said, I don't think it's that debatable. It's Dustin Poirier at 155. He is my number 3 pound for pound. Number 2, I had a hard time putting him number 2 because I was like, bro, he hasn't fought in forever. But I look up the stats. I'm like, oh, this fool fought in February. And that is John Bones Jones. John Bones Jones is still going to be my number 2 because he is still John Jones. He has not lost in the octagon ever. Even though some people say he lost his last fight, which is very debatable. Some people say he lost this fight before that, which is also very debatable. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, but he won. That's what the stats say. So I have to put him on this list. He's still John Jones. John Jones, until he gets beat, needs to be top 2 in everybody's list because he's the GOAT. I'm sorry, got to respect it. I'm sorry, he hasn't been that impressive, but he's still the GOAT and he's still winning. But my number 1, and my new number 1, because he wasn't my number 1 until last week, Kamaru Usman is my number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. And you could say this is recency bias. Not really. I mean, it's part of that, but I feel like pound for pound ranking should be recency because it's about what you have done for me lately. But anyways, I say Usman because he's 19-1, never lost in the UFC. He's won, I believe, 18 fights in a row. He's finished 3 of his last 4. Mind you, those are all title fights, which means so much more to me if you're finishing title fights. I mean, what the hell are we talking about here, man? Like, what do we need to discuss? The guy is top notch. Power, ridiculous. Wrestling, ridiculous. Pace, ridiculous. Cardio, ridiculous. What are we? Toughness, ridiculous. I tried to tell people before, this fight's not going to be that close. It wasn't. It was a washout. Like, people want to say the first round was close. Okay, sure. Keep telling yourself that. Kamaru easily won that fight for me. I mean, won the first round for me. Second round, we saw what the hell happened. We was touching him up all day. And like I've said this in my previous video, Usman's striking is growing. He still hasn't developed a good hook. He is strictly a 1-2, and then he throws kicks and knees. But once he develops a hook, who the hell is beating him? Nobody's already beating him. Good luck. Good luck but beating Usman. Usman is phenomenal, man, and I'm so happy that he's having so much success. I love his relationship with his daughter, by the way. It's the cutest thing ever. If you do not know, go on his Instagram and look at some of his videos. It's the most adorable thing ever. But this man, I don't see him losing anytime soon. I think the only person I possibly can give an edge to might be Wonder Boy, but I don't even think he can handle that power. That power is just too ridiculous, man. So that is my list of my top 5 for men and women. Please tell me, guys, who do you think is your top 5? Or who's the top 5 in the world? Obviously, I can't put DJ. He just got slept. Like, I can't believe that happened. But he would have been in my top 5 had he not, got knocked out, recently. But once again, tell me who your top 5 men and women in MMA. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Showtime's Fight Forum. I'm your boy Showtime.